So in today's video, we got some copper and brass and stuff to clean up. Some nice stuff here. We got a piece of green copper with a brass piece on it. This long pipe. Two brass valves. Here's a drain off a water heater that's broken off, so we'll get that off. Here's two nice tops off a water heater. Some stainless hose. Here's a gas line from an oven. A piece of brass, stainless hose. And we got this copper pipe inside this steel springy thing. And another top of a water heater with a ball valve, gas line with a valve to get off, and a few more tops off a water heater. And that cat's back. Hey kitty, you want to say hi? No? Okay. So yeah. Alright, we're going to start with this because it's the first piece. This is the brass valve. It's all brass. Magnet does not stick to the bolt or the nut or the washer. So we'll get this pipe off here real quick. Pretty loose. Not really stuck in there. Little steel pipe. A brass valve. Next we'll do these two tops of the water heaters. Let's just get the steel off the copper. And for the second, next up we'll do the water heater drain. I don't know if you could see there, but it looks like there's copper inside of there. Oh, that's pretty loose. No, not by hand. All right, steel, plastic, valve. Here's some nice copper with a ball valve on there. So let's get this handle out of the way first. Now we're gonna have to cut this off of here. right, we'll drop it in the vise. You could probably cut this and get number 1 and then number 2 for that. There's a piece of brass on here. We're going to come back to that when we do the other one. Next, we'll do these water heater hoses. Some nice brass on here, a little bit of copper, stainless steel hoses. Cut these brass ends off. So we'll start with this one first. Now here's a nice chunky one. Valve. So a bit of copper in there, but I'm just going to leave that in there. And cut off this end, cut it off there. Put it in the wrong spot in the vise. Nice. On some plastic. That's a nice piece. Now these sometimes are steel, stainless steel, or brass. So let's check out with the magnet. There goes the saw. Non-magnetic, but I could tell by looking at it that's stainless, so into the to-do pile it will go. So here we have a nice corroded piece of number 2 copper. This is the only piece that's brass on here. This end is copper. We'll just cut that off. Oh, might have to go backwards. Now, here's that piece of copper with that springy guard on it. It's off a big air compressor. So let's cut this and get that steel off. All right, let's see. Number 1, springy. And another piece. So next we'll do this nice long copper pipe. It's kind of corroded on the bottom, so we'll cut it off around here, and then we'll cut it into smaller sections, and we'll cut off the end. So here's the top of the water heater valve. I was saying we're going to come back to when we got to it. First, we're going to clean up the number 1. We got a piece of number 2 copper. 1. There goes our number 2. Now, a lot of times if you do a water heater, when you go to take the top off, this whole bottom will just spin off the top of the water heater, and you know, these won't come undone, and then that piece of brass is stuck in here. So here's a trick. All right, we cut through the brass and the steel. Probably get a hammer. Oh, there goes that half. There's the second half. There's your brass. There's your steel. And there's the other piece of steel, but this is plastic. That's not brass. Next up, we got these 2 water pipes. Uh-oh. Well, this one broke, so it was pretty bad shape when I banged them together. Huh. So we're gonna get these valves off the pipe. Should get these handles off. Little brass screw. We'll come back to that, I guess. Well, there's the first one. Now to get these caps off, or handles. Sometimes they come off easy, sometimes they don't. Alrighty. Well, here it all is. We're all done. Here's our shred steel. Here's those hoses. I'm still on the fence what I want to do with these. There's our piece of breakage. There's our little bit of what's left of the handles. Here's a piece I forgot to clean up. Here is our brass, my personal favorite. Here is some number 2 copper. Here is our number 1 copper. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out.